Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Extra Time TV. This is Andres Oklal.
I'm Kevin Campbell.
And Kevin, for the Trinidad fans, the so-called Warrior fans, is a big game coming up because the CFU Qualifiers are coming up. Trinidad will be taking on the Dominican Republic this Wednesday at the Tobago Stadium. There was a change, so those of you who don't know, it changed to the Tobago Stadium at 7 p.m. Is that correct? Yes, okay, so the Tobago Stadium.
Yeah.
Stephen Hart announced his 23, I think it was a 21 man squad, so it's 20 man. And basically, it's a pretty strong team.
Yeah.
John Michaels returns to the lineup. So, Kevin, this game essentially is very important. What do you think about the CFU and, its implications to the national team?
Yeah, we aim to qualify for the Gold Cup next year.
Yes.
But in order to do that, we need to win our group. Now, how it is structured is CFU has the Caribbean Cup, which takes place in US next year.
Yes.
But we are in round 3 right now, and it's 4 groups of 3. And the top 4 in each of these groups, they qualify for the tournament next year.
Yes.
Now, Trinidad, we have Martinique and the Dominican Republic in our group.
Yes.
Jamaica, they have Suriname and Guyana in their group. But it's a bit different this time because the 3 best second place teams, they go into a playoff with each other. And the winner of that plays the 5th place team in the Copa Centroamericano to get that final Gold Cup berth. Now, we take on the Dominican Republic in Cuba later this week. And the Dominican Republic, they're a team that they have never qualified for the Gold Cup. Never, ever.
Yep.
Andre.
Ever.
They're more familiar with baseball and bachata than actual...
Kevin's favorite pastime, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah.
Kevin 101.
So surely, Andre, that we need to win.
Yeah, I mean, we lost a game against the US. Teams like Trinidad it should be a foregone conclusion that we are there. We know football is very strange, and I think it's also perfect for Trinidad preparing for the World Cup qualifiers, because one of my concerns is that the team look very disjointed. We heard about the rumors about guys going on boat rides and all that, so we're not going to get into that. But I think it's important that we play these games and we play well. According to Stephen Hart's lineup here, this is basically the World Cup squad that we're going to be playing. And it's very essential that these guys get playing time and they play well. And maybe, people could argue, all right, so it's Martinique, it's the Dominican Republic. But I think it's still football. I think it's a competitive fixture. I think it's what we need to keep us on our toes. So we have to win this game and we have to qualify.
Yeah, Coach Hart, I think his team is pretty much set now. He knows his starting 11. Yeah. He knows who his best players are. But I'm looking at the Dominican Republic. Now, they came off a very tough group in round 2, getting past French Guyana. But they have 2 really good players who I like. Jonathan Fania. Pro League fans will know this guy really good. W Connection took him as a teenager, and they molded him.
Yes.
And with their coaching, he was able to carry W Connection to the Caribbean Club Championship in 2009. So he's a goal scorer. He plays in Panama now.
Yeah.
And they have an interesting guy at the back, Tanio. Spanish born. He was on the books of Real Madrid once. And now plays for Osasuna. So there won't be a rollover, but we should really get past them. Yeah,
that's very interesting. A lot of people, I don't think like teams like Dominican Republic and Martinique people don't understand the connections they have with world football. A lot of people don't know Thierry Henry. His connection with Martinique and many others.
Galas too.
Yeah, so listen, we have a lot of great players that come out of this region and play in our team. So it's easy to say, all right, we should roll over these teams. But, most notably, I would like to talk about the return of John Michael Williams, the actual lineup. He's clearly one of Hart's favorites. I mean, we've seen him. He's one of our MyStar people as well, ambassadors. But I really think he adds a different element to maybe Marvin Phillip. Marvin Phillip is very agile, very flexible. But John Michael Williams, to me, has that physical presence. They both are very good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not choosing one over the other. But the fact that Hart immediately brought John Michael Williams back into the team. And you asked me this off air when we were talking. Who do you think will start between John Michael Williams and Marvin Phillip? And it's a very good question, and I would love to hear your thoughts on that, Kevin.
Yeah. In my opinion, I like what Hart is doing. John has been the number 1, but I think that maybe he may throw us a bit of a curveball. Maybe play Phillip in this game.
Or Greg Ranjit Singh, or he's not on the team. Sorry.
He play Phillip this game, and then John may play against Martinique. Because, I mean, in the last qualifier, Philip had an outstanding game.
Yep.
I mean, he really kept us in it. It was his saves in that first half that settled the nerves and allowed us to play in that second half. So I think that he deserves a bit of a buy-in.
Yeah.
And I think with world football, Andre, you look at Barcelona, Man City, teams that have two quality goalkeepers. And they can rotate, like Sillerson and Ter Stegen this year, and last year was Bravo and Ter Stegen. So it wouldn't be too much a shock to find that both keepers may play these both games.
Yeah, Hart has done it before where he has rotated the keepers. One thing I really admired about Marvin Phillip, in addition to his footballing abilities, is that for a long while he was, the runner-up to John Michael Williams. And then he stayed. Usually people complain when they the second position. Eventually got his chance and he took it, which is very admirable, I think. You don't see that these days often in football. Sometimes when people realize they're not going to get that shot, they just don't worry about international football or club football. So John Michael Williams is definitely an exciting news for the national team that he returns. He played with Central FC this week in CONCACAF Champions League. So he's getting back in form. I saw him in some preseason games and he's obviously needs some game time to get back really sharp. I think maybe that's the decision Hart where he may go with Marvin. I think he should just for continuity. Because we don't want to be complacent and think the games are a foregone conclusion. So, and the good thing is, we are blessed with two great keepers. So we have a luxury of goalkeepers. And next part I would like to discuss is the exclusion of certain players. Bostock, who seems to never make it on the national team for whatever reason.
Bad luck, Bostock.
So this is that player I was really hoping we'd have gotten to see him by now. This would have been the perfect opportunity for Bostock to really, I can't say it's not a high pressure situation, but it's competitive. He could integrate himself into the team. I'm really excited to see him play. So it's a bit of a disappointment for me that we're not going to see Bostock in there. Kevin, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I would like to see Bostock, but let's look at some other guys. No Heaton Hector. And Mitchell is also missing. So I think that it gives opportunity for other players to come in. But Hart knows his lineup. It's easily probably you have Cato out wide and you also have Molina in the middle. But pay particular attention to Trevin Caesar. He's been scoring a lot of goals in the US. And he could be a good foil for Kenwyne Jones or a good replacement if Jones decides or if Hart decides to take off Jones after a period of time. So he can probably usurp Shannon Winchester in terms of the second striker option off the bench.
Because actually you made a very interesting point. If you compare Caesar and Winchester, they both play that sort of false number 9 role. Winchester reminds me a bit of that Burling Tevez-like player that comes deep, creates, but Caesar does the same, but he has a bit more penetration. He has that false number 9 thing down. I was very impressed in his St. Vincent game. I was very impressed with Hart for trying that solution. That is very different from the traditional, you have a number 9 and get the ball to him. It shows that Hart wants to play very proactive football with wingers on both sides. Kenwyne Jones, despite the criticism, I'm not going to be one of those people. I think he adds an element to the game that people don't appreciate. He commands attention from defenders. When you take Kenwyne Jones off, I saw it in the USA game. If you sit and look at the game analytically, forget the goal scoring part. When Kenwyne is on the pitch, Kenwyne draws players towards him. And immediately when he comes off, it's open house. The defenders look relaxed. And that's where Kenwyne Jones, I think, will still have that vital role where he'll always start over Trevin for now. But I think it's a great option to have Caesar coming in. And it shows that, players that were really good before, such as Plaza and so on, the fact that he can't break into the national team is a good indicator that we have some strong players. Also Molino. Molino came off from that long injury, and he was okay for Trinidad. But I think this is a good tournament for Molino to really find his legs and the team get their momentum. Just for the CFU, but for World Cup qualifiers.
He's meaning to build that momentum for the next games. But I think that I would have liked to see Heaton Hector there. Because Highland and Buko, yes, they are our anchors in midfield. But the replacements for them, Andre, I think is pretty sparse. And those are two positions that it takes a toll on your body. And these guys, they play professionally away every week. So rotation in those key positions, I think, needs to be sorted out and maybe given a rest. And see how other players can integrate into Hart's system. So I like Hector in that position. I would like to see him, but we can't. But the CFU is a very important tournament. And if you look at history, Andre, Trinidad, we are the most prolific team in the Caribbean. We have won 8 Caribbean Cup titles, while Jamaica 6. But interesting fact, over the past 15 years, since Trinidad last won it, Jamaica has won 4. So I'm seeing a sort of Liverpool, Man United bit of thing here. So what
Catching
if,
up?
Yeah, what if Jamaica catches up to us and passes us? Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I really thought that the last couple of Caribbean Cups, especially the last final, we should have won that. We eventually lost on penalties. It was pretty hard to watch because the Jamaicans look way more fit and so on. But we all are aware of the obstacles in Trinidadian football. But that's something we have to be wary of. You know, they're starting to catch up. You know, it's not. People love to say it's friendly competitiveness, but just for Trinidadian football, for the amount of money being spent, the infrastructure in place, we should be doing better. That's a whole other episode by itself to discuss the obstacles and so on. But in the context of this immediate qualifier, just to go back to your point that, you know, I'd like Houghton, Hector and so on, it makes me wonder, is it that Hart is trying to, listen, let's just secure, get ourselves into the finals, and then he'll play some friendlies and try people out, because I think he has one eye on the qualifiers, and I think he's thinking, all right, you know, these are the guys I'm going to use when the qualifiers come around, the World Cup qualifiers. I'm probably pulling players like Houghton, Hector and so on. Maybe Sadhu from Naps. Okay, no, maybe he's a little too young. But I think he just wants to secure the result and get us into the CFU, because it would be a complete disaster. And I think we suffered a bit of complacency from the players when we missed out on the Copa Centenario. I think Hart does not want to happen, because, just to recall, when we were going to play that Centenario qualifier against Haiti, no Kenwin Jones, no Plaza. Unfortunately, Ballpes Cummings got shot. I think Jones had Jovin Jones had an injury. So all of a sudden, I remember Hart saying, I saw him at the stadium, and he was like, "Oh, I just lost all my players." There's no Molino, and I think Hart really can't afford that anymore. So, you know, I think he wants to secure that.
Yeah, it's vitally important.
Yep.
You know.
So, you know, we're gonna be there at the game. Just to remind you all, the game is Wednesday at the Atabolan Stadium at 7 p.m. Am I right? Yes, it's at 7 p.m. And essentially, Trinidad will be playing, not essentially, what is wrong with me? Trinidad will be playing Martinique in their second game.
October 11th.
Yes, away from Trinidad. So, just to let you all know, just in case you all don't know, you heard it here first, get down to the stadium, support your team. We will be there. We may be running around harassing some fans and asking their thoughts. We'd really like to hear the fans' thoughts on Trinidad and how the team is doing and what they think. I know a lot of people had a lot of things to say after the under-17 qualifiers. So we know there are lots of passionate fans out there. We have lots of intelligent fans. And we really love to hear what you all have to say. So Kevin, where can we find you?
You can find me at Kev868 on Twitter and Instagram, Andre.
You can find me at Andre Soklal on Twitter and Instagram. And remember, be sure to like and subscribe, because when you like, you automatically qualify for the chance with 2 things. First things first, a chance to win a copy of FIFA 17. Secondly, some free tickets to the game. Come on, guys. You know, last time we gave it out at Candice Mohan. Yeah, she won, so congrats to you. So yes, stay tuned, like, subscribe.
Make sure to comment, leave suggestions, and leave questions, because we answer them all.
Yes, and feel free to ask everyone really hard questions, because he loves it. He loves those questions. Bring it on, we love it. We know there are a lot of intelligent fans out there, so we want to hear what you all have to say. So stay tuned.
Bye.
Okay, everyone, and don't forget, if you like and subscribe our YouTube page, Extra Time TV, you instantly qualify for the opportunity to win 2 tickets to the Trinidad and Tobago versus Costa Rica on November 2016.